That's life. That's what all the people say.
All right. Testing. Check 1 2 1 2. All right. Let me see. Turn this up a little bit. No. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Another episode. Wake up. That's life. I've been a little hiatus lately. I've taken a hiatus. And here's why. So my father called me last Sunday. I wanted to go look at some land because he wants to buy land because he thinks the world is crazy. And he said he read in the Bible that it says to flee the cities in the end. So he's like, we got to get out of here. I was like, okay. Anyways, point is, we went to go look at some land. We're talking, though, and I'm telling him about... It's nice because for those of you guys who don't know, I was raised by a single dad, and I'm very close with him. And the older he's gotten, the closer he's wanted to be. And it's just nice. I just want to say that if you have a relationship with your dad, blessed, and take advantage of it, man, because it will go away. That's so crazy. Sometimes you ever do that? You ever kind of like just think about sad things and it'll actually make you want to cry? My dad dying is one of those things that if I think about for more than a couple minutes, I'll go, and I'll... It gets me, yo. But anyways, I'm telling him about my views on the world and, my ideas and theories and whatnot. And for the most part, he lines up with them. But no matter what, he still has that old man wisdom, And he's not an old man. I think he's 47. So... But he does have that old man wisdom. And I was telling him what I believed, and he stopped me real quick, and he said, hey, son, I just want to say something to you. And I said, what's up? Be careful about watching too much of things that you agree with in regards to, not even necessarily, he wasn't trying to necessarily tell me to have a balance because he knows that I do watch the other side of what I believe. But what he was saying was just learn to shut it down, all of it. For a little bit, because before you know it, you begin to lose your original thoughts and ideas and everything that you're reading, no matter what, whether it be true or not. They still sway you to believe or feel certain ways about certain scenarios that are going to differ from the word, right? And we're supposed to be people of the word, and we live and try to run our lives according to what it's told and what it's been revealed to us. And for some reason, that just became very clear because I just thought, the Bible's been around a lot longer. It's time tested, battle ridden. All of history revolves around that book. And there's something about it. Me personally, I think there's something very supernatural about it, to the point where I've said this thing to my son when he was younger, and it was kind of like a reverse psychology thing, but I always think about it because I know that I said it, meaning it, but it could be taken as reverse psychology. We were talking about something, and I think he picked up my Bible just to kind of just, how kids grab books and you just skim them, and so he was doing, I said, whoa, be careful, be careful, and he goes, what? And I said, there's too much power in there. It'll change your life. Put it down, unless you're ready. And so he put it down, but I turned around knowing that I prayed that God dropped the seed, right? Because kids are curious by nature. He tells them what not to do, and we'll go do it. And sure enough, I turn around, and he's looking at it and going through it. And, that's kind of the approach that I think that if you don't at least try to take, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. It's going to be hard to read. It's going to bore you. It's going to, you know what I mean? So if you indulge in that part, listen, and don't tell me that you can't, that it's foolishness to you and that you can't believe these stupid stories and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, first of all, So you didn't like Game of Thrones. What is all that? Made up stories about dragons. There's no dragons. And someone's going to be like, yes, there was. Well, and if there wasn't, great. But what I'm saying is overall, there's no Ice King, okay? That's what I'm trying to get at. All right, it's all make believe. There's no zombies. There's no Freddy versus Jason. Like, we love fantasy stories. That's what it is. And the book that we believe is like a fantasy story. It's unnatural. It's unreal. It's a whole world flooded. Yup. All two people. Adam and Eve. Yup. Yup. And so it is weird, and it would make sense when God says that unless you believe like a child, you're not gonna get in. You're not gonna see it because they're so childlike. The stories are so childlike that if you think about it, it's the perfect disguise to be able to hide it, like Jesus said, that he hides what he says from people who consider themselves wise and haughty, like, because their intellect acts as a blinder. They go, there's no me. I'm an adult with a PhD. Are you kidding me? You think I'm going to sit here and believe some childish story like this? And the irony is that God goes, he gets glory by using things that are foolish. Foolish. Because then you have to say, oh, that was God. For sure. Because it doesn't make sense by itself. Right? There has to be something supernatural. Oh, who gonna flood there? Who gonna, like, all these things that are in there that are supernatural? There has to be a supernatural God that's like out of a comic book. And sure, but he's better. As you find out, he's better. Sorry, we tailspin again. It happens a lot, but and I say all that because I just realized I need to read my word a little bit more, just a lot of it more. But when I say that, I don't think I'm gonna go sit there and read 12 chapters of it. I think that you just got to make that effort to just read a verse. Come on, as much time we spend on social media, my God, you know what's the worst thing iPhone came out with, but the best thing iPhone came out with? That screen time thing. And you look at it and you go, ooh, there's this guy named John Piper, right? And he said that I love that we have YouTube, Netflix, that we have social, all these little things that take up our time. He goes, I love it because on that day, we won't have an excuse to say there wasn't enough time. I didn't have enough time. Screen time. 17 hours on Facebook, 12 on Instagram, 8 on Netflix. Okay. And if you actually sit there and try to just do these things, like the amount of time that it's insane. And we can't give 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's it. Nope. And man, so like I said, I just became hyper aware of that because I felt like this week I had to just go back in there, read what it says, see how it's trying to shape my character, because it shapes your character. That's why we don't like reading. You guys know this, right? We don't like reading it, first of all, because it's you probably run into parts that are not very fun, like when they go off the lineage and you're like, okay, do I really got to know why the son of 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 the mother of the son? And when you think about it, it makes sense because it's trying to, again, be infallible. You give that many details and you're probably telling the truth. We don't like that book because, like I said, it confronts us with what we're doing. Come on, boy, I'm recording this. The devil's in you. Get out. And see, the lights going off on my thing. Telling you. No, but yeah, man, it exposes us. It says, you being lustful, you being angry. Ooh. It tells you if you're being honest, tells you if you're being fair, tells you if you're being idolatrous, if you're loving other things that you don't need to be loving that much. Just everything. There's not a subject that you can't get clarification on or get at least guidance in how to approach whatever situation with that book. And, the world right now, chaos, insane, split into 100%. And here's something that I've been... And it's an interesting segue. That was probably a long segue, but I wanted to talk about today about this thing I'm seeing. Let's call it white guilt. it's so mind-blowing to me that people are falling for it. That I don't know any slaves. I don't know anybody that owned any slaves. That was so far behind me. And I think it's so odd that people are trying to have you feel guilty for something you had nothing to do with. Not even people that you know. And even if you knew people, it's irrelevant. You are an individual. Why are we allowing ourselves to be dictated by the opinions of other people who, guess what? They didn't bring you toilet paper. They didn't bring you food. They didn't bring you growth during the lockdown when we were all on our own. But now that we're back out, people like to wave flags and go, over here. There's something wrong here, guys. Look, I found it. I must be better than them because I found the issue. This virtue signaling culture that we have where, oh, man. Again, look, check this out. So I was having a study last week. And one of the things that Jesus was saying is he said, don't do things to get glory for people. Do things in secret. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. But if you do them so that people can see you, God says that's your reward. That's your reward. And I pondered on that for a little bit because I said, okay, so what is it that I'm trying to get? Right? Because he says, listen, do good things in secret where your Father sees in secret and he'll reward you openly. But when you're doing the other and you're seeking the attention and the approval of humans, I'm like, what is the reward? Okay, so people, and here's what they do. Check this out. This is the reward that you're fiending for, that you're craving, desiring, waking up for, and doing things for. Honestly, most people on social media, they're doing it for the audience. It's not, and you know how I know? Because they're showing it. We show it. And let me say this. There isn't you and then there's me, okay? I'm guilty of this too. I've done it before. But I just want to call it out so that maybe we can be a little more hyper aware. Maybe we can help, help each other grow, man. Iron sharpens iron, right? We can be like, hey, come on, you know what I mean? Why you do it? You got to show the abs off. You know what I mean? Like, what you doing? What do you? Or when people go, they record themselves feeding homeless people. Just think about it. It's a little odd, right? Not odd, but it's so silly. Because, again, that's your reward. You want people to see it and you want people to go, I just did it. That's the reward. Check this out. Oh, no. Some people are like, oh, it's beautiful. Wow, nice. Next. Oh, another. Oh, it's so silly. I'm not dogging it. I mean, like I said, you don't think I get? Oh, I got 12 likes up in this moment. Right? Same here. But when I read that, it convicted me, and this goes back to what I'm saying about reading that word, so it'll call you out, so that it convicts you, so that you grow, and so that you stop being that. Anytime you expose an error or a blind spot to somebody, that's the most loving thing you can do, ever. Ever. Even if it's annoying, it's the most loving thing you can do in the end. It's the most loving thing you can do. And me being aware of that, because I'm making these videos. I'm like, why am I making these videos, man? Am I just trying to go on 100,000? For what? For why? No, there's gotta be something else, right? And so I just thought that I'm just gonna say whatever God's put on my heart, and it's gonna be very unpopular at times, like this one probably is, because we were talking about this this white guilt that people are starting to. You guys have seen it, right? Now you have white people bowing at black people's feet and kissing their shoes in apology. You have the senators from the Democratic side wearing these African things, and where's the culture warriors now that go, wait, that's cultural appropriation? You don't think they're pandering to you? Come on, dude. Stop it. They're so white it hurts, okay? And then they want to say Trump was doing a photo op. That's not a photo op. All of them, like freaking Black Panther. Get out of Wakanda is a movie, okay? Stop it, yo. Oh my gosh. Guilt. Feeling guilty for things you had nothing to do with. Hey man, what are you doing? Where's your part? How come you're not helping our community? And you know, what's crazy about the God we believe in, right? The God, I'm talking about the biblical God, by the way, just because some people want to go, oh, he's talking about Bathsheba. Yeah, it's spirit. No, hell no. Okay? I'm talking about the biblical God. Okay? And what's funny about him is that one of the beautiful things that he does is that he takes away our guilt and shame. It's one of the perks of being saved. It's one of the perks of having him be king in your life, right? That he takes away the guilt and shame. And this movement, the more that it keeps going, I keep saying that it's trying to push guilt and shame, right? Rather than offering any solutions. And so because it's purposely trying to impose on people guilt and shame, I know that it's not from God. God doesn't go against himself. It's not his character. What God does do is he convicts. And that's something 100% different than guilt and shame. You're not going to ever get me to bow to a human being to kiss their feet. You are not a king, sir. You're definitely not my king. And if I wouldn't, no. No, thank you. Listen, white folks, anybody that's apologizing, apologize if you've done racist things. Apologize to the person that you did racist things to. But if you've done nothing like that, you don't have that in you. You are, for the most part, I think the majority of the United States, in that you don't see people for their skin color. You judge them by their character. Oh, look, he's a upstanding guy. Outstanding guy. Oh, he is black. You're right. Look at this outstanding. Oh, he is an Indian. By the character that they have. This whole thing of it. Can we stop talking about race for a little bit? That's it, man. It's so exhausting already. And if you're going to go, it's exhausting for you because you're not black. We're going to disagree there. And that's fine. Because I don't think that the majority of the country is systemically racist with an agenda to get rid of black people and hurt them. Just don't see it. I don't see it. I've asked people, and I ask sincerely. I'm like, do you think America's racist? And they'll look around and they'll say, yeah. And we start dying laughing because I feel like you just said it to say that. You don't believe that. You don't believe it. I don't think you guys, like I said, really believe. I think we've just been bored at the house and we just want to be a part of something. And I'm all for it. You know what? I do think this. I'll say this. I do think the police agency needs to be reformed, reevaluated. Definitely not defunded. Defund the police. Are you guys insane? You know, I went to jail 6 times. And every time I was there, here's one thing I literally thought and was thankful for. Oh my God, thank God jail exists. Thank God jail exists. Because these people that were in there, for the most part, believe me, you're glad they're in there. I don't know if anybody's been bullied. I used to get bullied all the way up to 6th grade at Duncan. I forgive you, bro. But I don't know how I'm going to act if I see you. I'm just saying that now. No. But I used to get bullied up till 6th grade, and horrible, ugly feeling. And the people that are in there, you know what they are? They're bullies. They're bullies. They impose their will on you, period. That's a bully. And like I said, I'm like, and I can't. People are going to really police themselves. You don't got it. No, stop. You know, it's so funny how we like to be so justice. But if it comes to us, show mercy. You know what I mean? And so, you know, the word, go, man, see the word again, just constantly helping us align our thoughts, our own ideas, you know, or ideas that are true and concrete. And we know this because, like I said, they're battle tested. Right now, all that's coming out is new influence. I'd rather be influenced by something that's been around since the beginning of time, hasn't changed. The Bible says not one dot or iota will be taken away. So I believe him. I just believe him. You might think, nah, well, then fine. You believe whatever you want to believe. I believe like a child. And I'm like, nope, this is a 100% supernatural book. And whatever it says, it's what it says. It's what it is. The police system, you know, oh, sorry. Veered off again. The Bible says that in the way that you extend mercy, mercy will be shown to you. In the way you judge others, judgment will be judged on you. And I was like, oof. And we're being so, screw the police, blah, 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 blah. And the word also says that governments and systems that keep back darkness, so police, FBI, all these things that are behind the scenes. We're sitting here at the house. We're not worried about someone kicking in our door and taking our stuff. We live in a civilized society because we have the police that go and get the bad guys. You ever seen a crazy person with a knife? I have, running around an apartment complex. What? You got to go corral that human being. That's insane. No, people are insane. But as I said, I do think that we got to filter out the police. So here's an idea. I was thinking of, how would you do this? How would you do this? I think you continually set up sting operations to try to filter out dirty cops. 100%. Set them up, bait them. Just like you guys do bait car. You ever seen where they leave a car and the bad guy can't help it? Boop. It's going to happen to a crooked cop. Bait them. See if they'll expose themselves. Once they do, go to jail. Get them out. Second thing I think you can do, make the consequences harsh or severe for officers that stand by watching injustice happen. There has to be a checks and balance system. The police system, although they were put there by God to check us, they have to check themselves within themselves because they're human beings at the end of the day. A cop is not a machine. He's a human being that goes home, fights with his wife, gets tired of his kids, is hungry, is stressed about bills, like me and you, human being. Only difference is he has to wake up, kiss his kids and his wife goodbye like he might never see them again. Because what they deal with is not what me and you deal with. I've said this multiple times. What they deal with, trust me, you don't want no part of it. And I know this because that's why you're not a cop. Right? It takes a special kind of person to be a cop. And they have to be a checks and balance system within themselves. They should always be reminded that what they do is honorable, what they do is important, and what they do is a great responsibility given to them by God. They're agents of God, the Bible says. Because what does God do? He repels darkness, right? He repels evil. This is what cops do. Defund the police? That's crazy, yo. That is crazy. What's gonna happen, huh? What's gonna happen? Perks of working from home. Why do you guys think all this is happening? Does anybody have like any suspicions? You know, I was looking up on Google search. You can do analytics. Type in a phrase. Black Lives Matter 2016. 2017 flatline. 18 flatline. 19 flatline. 20 election year. That to me makes me interesting. Why? Like, where'd it go? There's always been an issue. Apparently, right? If you guys are saying that we gotta stop this, man, then we've always had to stop it. Yes. So that makes me wonder. What else makes me wonder? Oh, did you guys see that all the donations that go to the Black Lives Matter movement.com, if you go to blacklivesmatter.com, chase the rabbit hole down of where the money goes that they donate, and it goes to support these Democratic campaigns. With that alone, don't you go, what? Come on, man. I don't. Gee whiz. I think what happens is people are getting played and stirred into a frenzy, creating a problem, and then they present themselves as the solution solvers. We're with you. Dawn, African, whatever those things are called. Come on. Oh, jeez. We got to be careful why we do things, man. And we really got to ask ourselves, why are we doing certain things? Like, why am I even talking about any of this? This is not the majority. Most people are going to be like, oh, that boy's a racist. He hates black people. And I'm like, anybody that knows me, you're like, what? No. But I really think, man, the reason I'm saying it, the reason I'm talking about, I even say anything, I feel like people are getting swayed and they don't see how or what. They're not even considering it. Like, I think that we should always be suspicious, healthily suspicious, not conspiracy theories, crippling. You know what I mean? But just know that people with power don't do well. People with money, influence don't do well. Gets to their head, you know, and that's how crazy things happen. You think movies are based off of completely just fallacies? No, man. They're from stories that more than likely do happen. I don't think we got a shot, man. I don't think we got a shot at fixing this. And I think we don't because it's coming from a weird place. It's not coming from a good place. It's coming from a place of, I just call virtue signaling. It's a weird opportunity for you to step in and go, look, I'm better than people. I don't do this. And anybody that doesn't jump on whatever it is that you see as expressive to indicate that you're a part of something, if you don't do that, then what? Nah, man. Nah. You know how I know I'm not a racist? Because I'm not a racist. That's it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to keep trying to explain. Well, I got a black friend, and I put the square up, and I made a cardboard sign, and I hung a sign that says Black Lives Matter, and blah, blah, blah. You don't got to do all that. Be respectful, be honorable. That's it. You'll be fine. Well, I think that's it for now. Just remember, no need to feel guilt or shame. Unless you had something to do with it. Then maybe. But, and even then, though, just know that there's freedom for you, too. You know, because a lot of people, including myself, man, we've all done things that we're ashamed of. I feel shame for them at times if I dwell on them. You know, to the point where I get knots in my stomach thinking about things I used to do, things I used to partake in, things I used to allow, things that I used to want to go headfirst into. You know, and man, if it really wasn't for God, dude, I would be overwhelmed with it. I could see why people kill themselves sometimes. that weight that you carry sometimes of experiences that you've been a part of. Yeah, man, they're weighty. They're tangible. You can feel that they're pressing on you. And like I said, man, that's one of the perks of following God, that He'll say, okay, let me get that, and take it from you. And it is a unique thing to have that weight lifted off you, and you feel it be lifted off to you, because I think, how do you feel it become lifted off of you? I think what happens is you become very aware that there's one person whose opinion matters truly of you. And I can sum it up with this phrase and this phrase very quickly. Don't be afraid of him who can kill the body only. Be afraid of him who can kill the body and soul. With that sentence alone, I can then be assured He's the only one whose opinion I need. Oh, bless me. He's the only person whose opinion I need. Who has more power than him? And when you become aware of that, and then you become aware of the fact that He goes, all the things that you're ashamed of, all the things that you feel guilty for, I don't see them. Gone. I've removed them from you. Don't worry about it. You get this alien righteousness. And what I mean by that is you get a right, because we're not good people. We're not. Come on. You know this by now. Please. If you are older than 20 and you're still, but I'm a good person. Oh, God. Stop. Man, listen, there will never be change until you admit that you're a scumbag. Woman, you're a scumbag. Man, you're a scumbag. If you could project the thoughts and ideas that go through your mind on the daily onto a screen in front of people, you would get out of that theater immediately, because you wouldn't be able to deal with the shame that's there. And you're a good person? All right, well, you keep trying on that shoe. Eventually it'll get tight, and you're not going to be able to keep walking because it hurts. It hurts to keep lying to yourself, man, in the end. And that, you might not feel it, but I mean, it hurts you in ways that you don't even see. It delays you from blessings that are probably on their way to you, but because of your foolishness, because of your lack of humility, because of your lack of honesty, you get them delayed. You push them further back. And to know, like I said, that the one whose opinion matters gives to you something you didn't earn, didn't deserve, a righteousness, right? Because God is the reason we need the righteousness. You guys understand? The reason we need the righteousness is because God is so holy and perfect, He can't be around it. It'd be like you approaching the sun. Not that the sun is evil. You are not capable of being something near something that's that powerful, and His holiness is powerful. Sin can't be in front of it, and we all are that, sinners, right? We're all shiesty, scumbag people. But when He says that He gives you this righteousness that you're able to don, and now you're seen as if you are perfect and share in that holiness, that same sun power, and so you're able to approach, man, the guilt gets lifted off you and you get to walk free. And I had somebody recently on Facebook, don't know who it is, blank name, no pictures, no nothing, just created the account, wrote on a comment on a picture, exposing things that a handful of people know. Pretty serious things, not even accusations, scenarios that I was a part of. And immediately, the guilt and shame got in there. And I thought, oh my God, people's opinions. And God just told me, He goes, no. We expose this now. And I went, uh-oh. So I wrote back. Everything that he was calling me out, I gave even more clarification and details as to it was worse, actually. It was worse than what you're saying. And when I did that, the guilt and shame, what are you going to do now? Now that I've admitted it, now that I'm not hiding it, now that I'm not overwhelmed by it, what are you going to say to me now? What power are you going to wield over me? You don't got it anymore. You know why? Because your opinion is irrelevant. Only one person's opinion matters to me. And he said, I'm good. So we'll leave and end on that note. If you're a follower of this king, then you don't never need to feel guilty for the sins of others. Because at the end of the day, you and you alone will stand in front of him naked. And when I say naked, I mean, I don't necessarily going to be naked, okay? God's not a pervert. What I mean by that is exposed. There is no secret. That's what I mean by naked. And he says, you're good. You're declared righteous. Enter in. Oof. Ooh. But be weary of getting swayed. Disconnect for a week. And line yourself up with that word, man. That word will never steer you wrong. You know what the word is never going to tell you to do? Go steal. You know what it'll never tell you to do? Go rob, go trick people. Hey, go be a whore. No. It'll always look out for you. It'll always have the best intentions for you. Weird, huh? Kind of like he's good or something. It's crazy. But appreciate the time. And we're back.